I'm Romo. On this episode of Romo's Recipes, we're making Polish-style meatballs. Today we're making Polish-style meatballs. Now this is a family favorite that goes way back into generations of my family. My grandmothers and my aunt and uncles, they all used to make this recipe, and it is absolutely fabulous, and I can't wait to share it with you. What we start with is, I am using 4 pounds today, but this is your basic meatloaf mixture. It's a combination of pork and veal. And I have 4 pounds of it. So we're going to put 4 pounds into our bowl that we're going to use for mixing. And these ingredients, this is simple, but a little time consuming, but I guarantee you your family is going to absolutely enjoy it very much. So we've got 4 pounds of our meat mixture. Now we have 2 medium onions that we're going to just chop up and add that into our mixer. We got a quick little chopper here. Okay, so now we have our chopped onion. Now, make our own breadcrumbs or chop up our bread. I took this out yesterday and I dried it out for a day so that it gets nice and hard and we're able to make our own breadcrumbs or cube it real small. So we're now going to just cut this and then shred them real fine and then add that to our mixture as well. So we have our bread chopped up and cubed up, if you will. We are now going to add that to our mixture. Now, we'll add 3 eggs to 4 pounds of meat. And then we'll use 2 tablespoons of salt. Bring it in, Kel, so they can see what we're doing here. And we're going to put this all throughout our pan. And then 1 tablespoon of ground black pepper. And this is 1 tablespoon, of garlic powder. So 2 tablespoons of salt, a tablespoon of pepper, and a tablespoon of garlic powder. Now, we're going to mix it all up. We're going to wash your hands, put on some fresh gloves, and then we'll start mixing. Okay, now we have to mix. And this is where you're going to spend a little bit of your time, because we have to make sure that everything is mixed and try to be as equally spreaded or consistent across the board as possible. So, there's an old joke that my uncle told me that when the ceiling starts to drip, it's warm enough in a house, and that means that it's completely mixed, but it was a lot more funnier in Polish. So, we're mixing everything up here, and once we get it all done, then we can start rolling it into meatballs. Now we have our meat all mixed to where we can start rolling into meatballs. And basically in about 4 pounds of meat, you're going to end up with about 40 meatballs or so. And we brown them and bake them, and be excellent. But all you do is just grab a little bit and make them the size that you want, because, you know, the smaller they are, the more meatballs you have to make. And these are a little bit bigger than a golf ball and not quite a baseball. So we'll roll these all up and then go on to our next step. Okay, we ended up with 37 meatballs. And now put some oil in a pan, vegetable oil, heat it up, and we need to preheat our oven to 350. Okay, while we're doing that, while the oven is preheating, we have some flour and we are rolling our meatballs in flour and then placing them in the oil. We're going to brown them on all sides here. And then I have a sheet with some paper towel to rest them on to blot off any excess oil before we put them in our pan to cook them in our baking dish. So we roll these, we get them into the oil. And then we'll be able to flip them here and turn them so you can see just how we do it. Now, if you like what you see here on our channel, please hit the subscribe button and like us and put your comments below. Let us know if there's a certain recipe you'd like to see. We can do that for you. And make sure that you subscribe and hit the bell so you get a notification every time we do a new video. So as you can see here now, I'm just going to turn them so that they get a coating on each side. And crisp them up just a little bit. And then we'll be able to set them aside. We just want to brown them on all sides. And this is the good stuff. Okay, we have our last batch in our oil. We're browning these. And then we will be all set with this process, and then let them pat dry a little bit before we put them in our baking dish and then cover them with our gravy. So again, these are Polish style meatballs. They're made with a brown gravy and mushroom soup mix, as opposed to an Italian style which has different herbs and spices inside them and cooked in a tomato sauce, if you will. So we'll be making those down the road as well, but some Italian dishes coming up also. So here we are. We are about all set here as these finish browning. And then we're going to let them pat dry, and then we'll transfer them into our baking dish and then cover them with our gravy. Okay, we've patted dry our meatballs a little bit with paper towel to get off some of the excess grease off. Now we are transferring into our baking dish. Now, it can be any type of baking dish that you have, but this recipe needs to be covered while in the oven. Okay, so this baking dish has a lid, which is why I'm using it, but you can use something and put foil over it or whatever you desire to do. Whatever you have will work. So now that we have our meatballs in, now it is time for our gravy mixture, which what we're going to do now is I use 3 cans of brown gravy or beef gravy. You can use any style that you like. And put that in there. And then 1 can of cream of mushroom soup. And make sure you get it all out of there. We paid for that too, Barbara. So get everything out. And then mix it up. And this will give it a lighter color and great flavor with the cream of mushroom soup mixed in with your gravy. And then we will put that over the top of our meatballs. Okay, we have our gravy all mixed. We are now going to get it over the top of our meatballs. make sure that I like to make sure that I cover, put a little bit on each one, and then the excess will be in there. And the final thing that I do is just put a touch of salt and a touch of pepper. And now we are ready. So now we cover, and we will put this in the oven for about 1.5 hours. And then you have time to make your side dishes, whatever you want to have, mashed potatoes, green beans, whatever you want to have with it. But it will take about 90 minutes at 350 degrees. So we'll check on them in just a little while. We have removed from the oven. It has been about 90 minutes, and these are looking absolutely spectacular. Now all there is left to do is the taste test.
Yeah.
And we are going to put it on a plate and let Mason and Kelly taste them and let us know what they think.
It's a tough job.
All right, let's get it all set up. Okay, we are back, and we have Mason and Kelly, and they are going to sample our meatballs. Okay, Mason, go ahead, buddy.
This is gonna be yummy.
Gonna be yummy? Good?
Dad, this is yummy.
Thank you very, very much.
I'm gonna love you very much.
Kelly? Good? Yes? All
I
right.
can't speak.
Perfect. Okay, folks, there you have it. We've got our meatballs. We've made mashed potatoes and gravy, some green beans. She wanted white bread. She no wanted the rye bread, so she has bread and butter. So does Mason. Great family meal. Hope you'll have this on your Sunday dinner table. And it's what we call our Polish-style meatballs. Until next time, this is Romo saying thanks for watching, and hit that subscribe button. We'll see you soon.
Peace out.